Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Mariam Farid. I'm with you today to cover the vocabulary of Module 8, third prep, into your course book page 92. Before talking about the most important words that we are going to find into this module, I'd like, of course, to read with you the text itself. Open your books on page 92 and try to think about the picture which you can see in front of you. Which character, how many persons can you find here? We can find only one person, and I think most of you know this person very well. Yes, this person is Sherlock Holmes. We are going to talk about Sherlock Holmes and the beginning of this character. Of course, you know very well that it's an imaginary character. It's not a real one, fictional character. I mean, writer or an author that wrote about this character. Let's read the first text A, slide 2 into your presentation. Sherlock Holmes is, without doubt, the most famous fictional detective in history. And I mean by fictional, I mean into our story. He has been thrilling readers since Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's first novel. I mean by thrilling readers, making them very happy and interested. He has been thrilling them since the first novel, Study in Scarlet, which was published in 1887. He quickly gained popularity with his exceptional powers of deduction. I mean by exceptional, out of understanding. Deduction, I mean the ability to know, to guess, which helped him solve some crimes successfully. Together with his trusty assistant, Dr. John Watson, Holmes appeared in 4 novels and 56 short stories and became the most celebrated detective. I mean by celebrated, very famous in literature. Sherlock Holmes has been portrayed on stage. I mean performed. And whenever we are going to talk about stage, I mean plays on the stage of theaters. And the screen, I mean into movies. Countless times, I mean many times. But the great detective that we have become so familiar with is quite different from Conan Doyle's original creation. For instance, if you were asked to describe Sherlock Holmes' appearance, you would no doubt mention his deer-staker. I mean cloth cap with 2 flaps. Hat and Inverness cape, I mean loose belted coat. The deer-stalker hat, a hat traditionally worn by hunters in rural areas, I mean relating to the countryside, has become the most recognizable part of the character's outfit. However, the detective wore a similar hat only once in The Adventure of Silver Blaze. The hat became permanently associated with Sherlock Holmes when Sidney Paget, the artist who illustrated many of Conan Doyle's short stories, chose to depict the detective wearing the hat in a number of his illustrations. I mean by depict here, to portray him in this way. So it wasn't very usual in the novels to find Sherlock Holmes in this appearance, but we can understand that through the portraits which this great artist began to draw for this character, we can understand that we had this image from or about this character. Let's turn to slide 3 and read text C. Another common misconception is that Sherlock Holmes is either old or middle-aged. Holmes was born on 6th January 1854 and met Watson in 1881 at the age of 27. Don't forget that we are talking about these dates into the novels. It's not a real character. They are close in age and the characters are estimated to be in their late 20s in many of Conan Doyle's stories. Both Holmes and Watson always do what it takes to solve cases and are regarded as accomplished men. I mean able to do whatever they wish to do. They could achieve their targets very easily, which might explain why they are often portrayed as being older. Sherlock Holmes does age. However, in the book His Last Beau, 1917, Holmes comes out of retirement at the age of 60 to become a spy. Moving to slide 4, let's read text D. It's probably the most famous Sherlock Holmes line, but surprisingly, elementary, my dear Watson. I mean, this is the most famous line for Sherlock Holmes, but for our great surprise, we are going to know that it wasn't him that who said this. Did not feature in any of Conan Doyle's books or short stories. Holmes did refer to Watson as my dear Watson numerous times. Yes, many times he said my dear Watson. And he did use the word elementary on occasion. But never once did he utter, he never said the words elementary, my dear Watson. It was English writer Woodhouse who first used this line in a 1915 novel called Smith, Journalist, where one of the characters was mimicking Holmes. By mimicking, making fun of him. If Woodhouse had known how popular the line was going to become, he would have copyrighted it. Just to add his name beside this line to be well known that he was the one who said this. Moving to slide 5, text E, and the last one. It is assumed that Sherlock Holmes solved all his cases. It's understood that we have to understand that this great character should answer and find solution and answer for any case. But even the great detective doesn't have an impeccable record. By impeccable, perfect. No, he didn't have a perfect record. In The Adventure of the Dancing Men and the 5 Orange Pipes, Holmes' clients die before the mystery is solved. And in The Adventure of the Yellow Face, Holmes draws the wrong conclusion. He couldn't find the answer of the case. Furthermore, Holmes is also often depicted as being at odds, not going well with the police. Often even keeping back important information. However, in the original stories, he makes an effort to provide the police with enough evidence and information to conduct their own investigations. Moreover, the Scotland Yard detectives featured in the Sherlock Holmes stories actually have great respect for Holmes' abilities and often request his assistance whenever they have difficulty with a case. Apparently, if the detectives had Holmes' powers of deduction, solving cases would have been much easier for them. It's a summary of some facts about this great character. I hope that you could read some novels talking about this character. Of course, you would amuse yourself greatly. Now moving to the most important words, slide 6. We are going to talk about the vocabulary. I'm going to read them with you. The first one, accomplished, means skilled. Address, it's verb here, to speak or write to someone. Also, it has another meaning, which is to give attention to or deal with a matter or problem. Age, yes, it's here verb. If someone ages or something ages, then they look older. Apparently, it's verb. Used to say you have read or been told something, although you are not certain it is true. Associated, connected. Be at odds, to disagree. Case, a problem or series of events or a person being dealt with by police, doctors, lawyers, and so on. Celebrated, famous for some special quality or ability. Slide 7. Copyright, it's verb, to give the legal right to control the production and selling of a book, play, film, photograph, or piece of music. Deduction, when a decision or answer is reached by thinking about the known facts or the decision that is reached. Depict, it's verb to represent or show something in a picture or story. Draw a conclusion, it's verb to consider the facts of a situation and make a decision about what is true, correct, likely to happen. Evidence, it's also noun, one or more reasons for believing that something is or is not true. Exceptional, much greater than usual. Slide 8. Illustrate, it's verb, to show the meaning or truth of something more clearly, especially by giving examples or even by drawing. Illustration, it's the noun, an example that explains or proves something. Impeccable, I mean perfect, with no problems or bad parts. Investigation, noun, the act or process of examining a crime, problem, statement, especially carefully to discover the truth. Keep back, it's phrasal verb, to not tell someone everything you know about a situation or an event that has happened. Line, a group of people or things arranged in a row. Manner, the usual way in which you behave towards the other people or the way you behave on a particular occasion. Slide 9. Mimic, it's verb, to copy the way in which a particular person usually speaks and moves, usually in order to make people laugh. Misconception, it's also noun, an idea which is wrong, because it has been based on failure to understand a situation. Myth, an ancient story or set of stories, especially explaining in a literary way the early history of a group of people about natural events and facts. Outfit, it could be verb or noun, to provide someone or something with equipment or clothes. A set of clothes worn for a particular occasion or activity. Power, I mean abilities. Slide 10. Recognize, to know someone or something because you have seen, heard, or experienced them before. Rural, in, or of or like the countryside. Skilled, having the abilities needed to do an activity or job well. Spy, it's noun, a person who secretly collects and reports information about the activities of another country or organization. State, a condition or way of being that exists at a particular time. Thrill, to make someone feel very excited and pleased. Trusty, able to be trusted, especially because of having been owned and used for a long time. Utter, to say something or to make a sound with your voice. Slide 11. Doubt, a feeling of not being certain about something. Attack, it could be noun or verb, of course, according to the meaning of the sentence. A violent act intended to hurt or damage someone or something, or to try to hurt or defeat using violence. Burglar, a person who illegally enters buildings and steals things. Commit, to do something illegal or something that is considered wrong, like committing suicide, for example, to kill yourself. Crime, illegal activities. Mistake, it's verb here, to be wrong about or to fail to recognize something or someone. Obey, to act according to what you have been asked or ordered to do by someone in authority or to behave according to a rule, law, or instruction. Law, rule, usually made by a government that is used to order the way in which a society behaves. Slide 12. Police force, the police in a country or an area. Robber, someone who steals. Zookeeper, a person who works in a zoo taking care of the animals. Slide 13, now we are going to talk about something different concerning also the vocabulary, which is prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase is a phrase containing a preposition and some other words to convey a certain meaning. For example, we have here some prepositional phrases using without. For example, like without a trace, without delay, without exception, without warning, without fail, without permission, and without somebody's knowledge. We have a lot of examples. We have also another preposition, prepositional phrase using for a change, for all I know, for good, for sure, for the best, for the time being. I know very well that you use most of them in your conversations, and they are not difficult for you. Slide 14. We would talk now about collocations, and a collocation is a word or phrase which is often used with another word or phrase in a way that sounds correct to people who have spoken the language all their lives but might not be expected from the meaning. For example, we use here the verb make with some words to give you specific meanings like make breakfast, make an omelette, make milkshake, make suggestion or request, make noise, make arrangements, a lot of examples. So we use make for what? Number 1, preparing food and drink. 2, speaking and sounds. 3, plans and decisions. When I say to make a suggestion, to make a decision or a choice. Moving to slide 15. Another example for collocations, but in this time we are going to use have instead of make. I can use have with have dinner, have a cup of tea, have shower, have a break, have a conversation, have a quarrel, have a rest, and so on. So we use have when we are talking about enjoying food and drink, not making, but enjoying eating the food itself. When I say have dinner, it doesn't mean that I'm making dinner. No, I'm eating dinner. When we are talking also about disagreeing, washing and resting, talking. When I say have a conversation or have a chat, here I'm talking about talking itself. Slide 16, another collocation, but in this time we are going to use do. Do research, business, do a job, do nothing, do something, do everything, do the cooking. Here we are using do to talk about work, jobs, tasks, or non-specific, something which is not well known. Okay, moving now to slide 17. It's our last slide in which I want you to answer all these sentences depending on your understanding, and I think that you wouldn't find them difficult. The first one, there is a general precaution, perception, myth, legend, that exams are becoming easier to pass. Number 2, I'm tired of going to the same restaurant all the time. Let's go somewhere different for a chance, a change, a check, a charge tonight. Number 3, although nobody was hurt, Gloria is considering reporting, keeping, making, introducing the incident to the police. Number 4, the storm came and the whole village flooded without delay, without warning, without perception, without comprehension. Thanks a lot for your great attention for today, and I hope that you have enjoyed our lesson. Thank you.